Hi guys, welcome. For those who follow me, I love you, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support. And if you are new here, my name is Victoria. I'm a licensed real estate salesperson in New York, and I create videos about real estate and anything real estate related. So if you're interested in this topic, consider subscribing. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or comments, please write down in the comments below. So today I have a really good topic for you guys. We're going to talk about first-time home sellers, and I'm going to discuss different tips on what to do if you're a first-time home seller. So make sure that you watch this video till the end. A lot of good things are coming your way. So let's start. And the first tip that I have for you guys is price your home accurately. You don't want to price it too low and that end up having seller's remorse and a question, what if? What if I could have gotten more money for my property? But at the same time, you don't want to price it too high because high prices will scare potential buyers away. And if your listing stays on the market for too long, a lot of potential buyers will start wondering if there is anything wrong with it. So the best way to come up with the correct price is to run some comps or run a comparative market analysis. If you have a house, then look for houses in your area that recently have sold. If you have an apartment, look for apartments in your building and come up with the correct price. Do your research and understand current real estate market conditions. There are three types of real estate markets: seller's market, buyer's market, and balanced market. Of course, it is the most beneficial to sellers to list their properties for sale during seller's market. This is when bidding wars happen, this is when listings are scarce, and when buyers compete against each other. If it is buyer's market, if you don't have to sell, try to wait for a year or two and to see if the market changes, because it's not going to be to your advantage. It's always good to list during seller's market in order to get top dollars for your property. Timing is everything. When you list your property for sale is going to make a big difference. Holidays are usually very slow, and a lot of people just don't like to look at properties or tour houses. They would prefer to spend their time with their loved ones or their friends or family. Summer times as well, people will be taking vacations and going away. There is a study that suggests that spring is the best time to list your property for sale. As far as different days of the week, Studies suggest that Thursdays are the best days to list your property for sale, and weekends like Saturdays and Sundays are the worst ones. So make sure that you keep this data in mind when you list your property for sale. Account for all costs. Make sure that you understand every expense that will be associated with the sale of real estate property. If you do decide to work with a real estate salesperson or a broker, there will be a commission fee, and typically it ranges between 5 and 6%. There will be closing costs, there will be legal fees, taxes. If there is any unpaid mortgage balance, well, if there is a mortgage, then it will have to be paid off. So it's a really good idea for you to sit down and do math to make sure that you are aware of every single cost and that it's not a surprise to you at the end. Make sure that you do have professional photos taken of your property. Definitely don't use a cell phone. Cell phones are fabulous, there is nothing wrong with them, but again, when it comes to selling your property, professional photos will attract more attention. Consider investing in working with a professional photographer who has been doing it for a long time. Just make sure that they specialize in real estate because they will know how to work with the light, they will know how to do correct angles, they will be able to highlight the best features of your property in pictures. So it's really important that you do that. And also when you list your property for sale, make sure that you come up with a creative description to make sure that your listing stands out, and come up with a catchy phrase that will attract attention. So when you're ready to list your property for sale, just make sure that you do have a floor plan available, and that could be done by a professional architect. But a lot of buyers will be inquiring about that, so it's really good to have one handy. Also, you could also invest in 3D renderings if you want to list your property for sale. That could be done by architectural firms as well. So the next tip that I have for you guys is consider home staging. Home staging is a great way to dress up your home and to highlight the best features of your home. Home staging could be really great for uninhabited properties, unfurnished properties, and also for furnished properties as well if you want to change some things around. Well, home staging comes with a price tag, but it is a really great way to attract potential home buyers. If you're not able to invest in home staging, consider doing virtual home staging. It's much less expensive, and those companies, they will dress up your home virtually. They usually use their own software, and they will place furniture or replace existing furniture. They will add some pieces of decor and pieces of art, and everything will look really good. And just remember that the first introduction of your property most likely will happen online, when potential buyers will be scrolling through multiple listings and looking at pictures. So that really works if you want to boost and attract some more people to come in and look at your property personally. If you're ready to sell your place, it's a good idea to work with a licensed real estate salesperson or a broker. I know that a lot of sellers want to sell homes on their own, and all the respect to them, but if they haven't done that at all, it could be very stressful, could be very emotional, and it could end up actually potentially hurting them. Real estate people, they know current market conditions, they know prices, they know how to market the property, how to come up with the best price. They will be able to provide good photography. They will actually hold your hands through the entire process. So it's really good to work with one. And believe me that good brokers, good salespeople, they will have your best interest at their heart. So if you do decide to work with one, just make sure that you ask them all the questions. Also make sure that that particular agent is familiar with your neighborhood, that they have done deals in your neighborhood, and this is how they will know market. Also find out how their availability is. Not every single broker will be easily to reach out to, and you need all the communication you can get. Also ask how they do marketing. It's really important to market your property in the correct way and to have a really good outreach to other potential buyers. So ask all those questions. This is the relationship that will last, and just make sure that you click with the person, that you like the person. Another great tip that I have for you guys is declutter. As human beings, we tend to accumulate stuff, and with time, it gets added up. So believe me, I've been on tours of real estate properties where houses looked like a mess. There were so many different things going on and so many things laying around that it was very distracting. And it is hard to visualize your property as potential buyer's future home when there are so many distractions. So try to declutter as much as possible. Currently there are trends going on, like people are looking for open spaces, less furniture. Try to box things up, try to remove certain things just to create an illusion of an open space, or at least of having more space available. And here I guys have a really good tip for you for closets. Make sure that your closets are neat and organized, and it's always really good to keep them half empty. In that way, there will be an illusion created like there is much more space. And buyers are always looking for good closet and good storage space. Before listing your place for sale or before showing it, make sure that you do all necessary preps. And by preps, I mean, first of all, just make sure that your home is spotless and clean and smells fresh. The very first thing what you need to do is just to clean, vacuum. If you have a carpet, just make sure that stains are removed. Also do like a visual inspection of your place. If there are any cracks or holes in the walls, maybe they could be patched up. Sometimes it's really good to add another layer of paint, just because that can help to refreshen the entire place. If there are any dripping faucets, try to get them fixed. Bathroom caulking is important. Like any little things that might bother you, just think about potential home buyers. They might bother them as well. Because if there are so many things that are wrong with the place, potential home buyers might think and wonder, what if there is anything else and it's just major? So like, do those little things. You will be happy that you did them when you land a sale. Curb appeal is extremely important. This is where the first impression is going to start. Potential buyers are going to look around and they're going to look outside. So if you have a house, make sure that outside of the house looks good also. There are certain little things that could be done, like a power wash or like trimming trees and shrubs, like planting some flowers, like things like that. They're not necessarily going to add value to your home, but they will aid the sale. Light is extremely important, so brighten up your home. Buyers are looking for location, that's a common knowledge, but they're also looking for good lighting. Nobody wants to be in a dark, gloomy place. So make sure that you do everything in your power to lighten up your home. And you can start with your light bulbs and just change them to the ones that are brighter. Add some light fixtures. You could change darker curtains to lighter curtains, because that will create an illusion of like a lighter space. Any shades, any draperies need to be open. Also, let me tell you a little secret. You know, you will be surprised what a wonder a window washing can do. It is really true. All the dust and dirt on windows prevents the natural light from coming in, and sometimes the place might look much darker, and if you wash the windows, it will brighten up. So things like that are easily achievable. I also recommend to put all the lights on when there is a showing going on. I know that a lot of guys might be worrying about electrical bill, but that will help with showings. Actually, when I conduct showings for my sellers, I make sure that I turn every single light on. Depersonalize your home. I tell all my sellers to remove pictures. It is very distracting to potential buyers when they're touring your home to visualize and picture themselves living in your space when there are so many personal things around. So if you are able to hide the pictures, box them up, you can remove them later when the sale is done. But for the time being, just like try to do everything possible to help with the sale of your property. When you're ready to show your property, make sure there are no hazards on premises. You don't want anyone touring your home to get hurt, and you don't want to be liable for their injuries. So make sure that there is no broken glass, there are no slippery stairs, there is nothing wet, that there are no angry dogs. Also, owners with pools, it's probably a really good idea to close the pool or just to remove access to that in case if potential home buyers have small children. Don't be present at showings. I know that it could be very enticing, and I know that you probably want to hear the feedback or just have a small conversation with any potential buyers, but it's better not to. Don't be present. I tell that to all my sellers, and they usually listen to me, just because, well, first of all, like, It could be something said by potential buyers that might even offend you. Everybody has a different taste, and I know that you think your home is fabulous, but maybe not everybody will think the same way. Or you could just like start having a conversation and you could just share details that are not necessarily needed to be known by potential buyers. So try not to be present at showings at all. Well, unless you are actually doing showings by yourself and not working with a real estate agent, then obviously you will have to be there. Consider hosting an open house. Open houses are a great way to generate some traffic, to attract some attention, and to invite more buyers to tour your home. Plan your next move. I know that you're probably not thinking about it yet, but it is possible sometimes to get an offer within 24 hours from listing your property. And some buyers are in a rush to close. So just make sure that you plan ahead on where you will be moving to, on scheduling movers and things like that. So it's a little less stressful when the time comes. Invest in a pre-inspection. It's really crucial that you do that, because if not all buyers, then almost every single buyer will do their own inspection. It's a large investment when someone buys a real estate property, so buyers will want to know that nothing is structurally wrong with the place, that there is no termite issue, to make sure that electric is up to date. So doing a pre-inspection is going to be very beneficial to you as a seller, just because you will know what to be prepared for. Some buyers are contingent on inspection findings, and certain things can be a deal breaker, and potential buyers could just walk away from a deal. So once you know if there is anything wrong, it gives you this power to fix it before it gets uncovered. Or you could just like shop around and figure out how much it will cost, and you could just offer potential buyers like some credits at closing. But it is essential that you know if there are any issues with your place before even like listing it for sale. When working with potential buyers, it is very important to make sure that they are well qualified financially. In New York City, we have a form that is called Revenue Financial Statement. It's basically a form that potential buyers will fill out. They will list their income, they will list their assets and their liabilities, and it's going to give a good picture of their finances. It is extremely frustrating to work with someone and spend a lot of time with someone who is not financially qualified to buy real estate. So as a seller, make sure that you request a proof of funds if your potential buyers are planning on paying all cash, or request a pre-approval letter in case if they're planning on getting a mortgage, to see how much they're qualified for and if they're qualified at all. It will save you a lot of frustration, believe me. So that's it for today, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed watching my video. And if you're ready to sell a real estate property, remember, there is only one impression, the first one. If you want to sell or buy real estate in New York, feel free to reach out. I would love to have a conversation with you. And at the end of the video, I just want to tell you one well-known fact, that kitchens help to sell houses or apartments. Please let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree with it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.